Hi, this is Josh at Dream Body Clinic. In this video, we're learning more about the differences between Muse cells and mesenchymal stem cells. So we flew in Dr. Dezawa from Japan. She's a professor that discovered Muse cells back in 2010. So Muse cells are found within mesenchymal stem cell cultures. Turns out if you stress them enough, the mesenchymal stem cells of the low oxygen environment, you kill them and you're left with Muse cells. And Muse cells are a true pluripotent stem cell, meaning they find inflammation and then they will turn into the cell type needed. Really cool stuff. And in this video, you're gonna see, if you stay tuned after, is her explaining the engraftment rate. So when you administer mesenchymal stem cells or Muse cells via an IV, the engraftment rate is very low for MSCs. It's around like 1%. And with Muse cells, we're looking closer to 15%. So people kind of wonder, oh, you're only doing 20 million with the Muse cells. I mean, we do IVs of up to 300 million with mesenchymal stem cells. But if you're doing the simple math, 20 million times 15, because it's 15% engraftment versus 1%, that would be equivalent to like a 300 million IV. So even though it sounds like a smaller number, you're like, oh, I'm only getting 20 million, you're getting 15 times more effect. And the big difference is the mesenchymal stem cells can't turn into other cell types. Now they will guide and manage the environment. They can pre-program the immune system, so they're great for autoimmune diseases. But for organs, like say with heart health, liver health, kidney health, it gets tougher. With the heart health, the engraftment rate's higher because they go straight to the heart. But other issues in the lungs are very high because they get stuck there. About 70% get stuck in the lungs for up to 3 hours after an IV of the mesenchymal stem cells. The Muse cells don't get stuck in the lungs. They go right through to where they're needed. So if you've got kidney failure, if you've got liver failure, if you've got any kidney, liver, gallbladder, bladder, pancreas type issues, the stem cells can get there now a lot faster and a lot higher numbers than mesenchymal stem cells. They can get rid of damaged tissue and then turn into new tissue. So for organ diseases, these should be much, much more effective. That's what the studies show. But this is also new treatments. We're considering this experimental, rolling it out. I did 20 million Muse cells yesterday. My daughter did 20 million. Our head doctor's done 20 million. And we're rolling it out. We're going to see what these do. So if you're interested in learning more about Muse cells, go to www.dbcmusecells.com and stay tuned to see Dr. Dezawa explain this in her own words when she came to the clinic. Thanks.
So under intravenous injection in clinical trials, 15% of the Muse cells, 15% of the Muse cell injected will go to the target tissue. The 15% is very interesting. Even in a stroke, even in a heart, 15% go to, and then maybe 10% go to lymph node or bone marrow, and remainder will be disappear in case of immune cells. But in case of MSC, fewer than 1% go to the target tissue. So you may know that, okay? Now, if we compare the same number of Muse, non-Muse, and MSC, that will contain the 1% of a Muse cell. What will happen is that this is like this. Even if you contain 1% or several percent of a Muse cell, the effect will be almost same with the non-Muse cells. Now, in case of the cardiac infarction, now the Muse, non-Muse, MSC, we have to see how the shrinkage of the infarct size will be. Now, this is showing that the Muse cell is much, much better than the same number of non-Muse, same number of MSCs. So even if they contain the MSCs, Muse cells, it will not working. Okay. So what about the same number of Muse cells in isolated, purified versus within MSC? It's still like this. Now we compare the shrinkage of the infarct size. Now, Muse is much better than 100 times the number of MSC that contain the same number of Muse cells. So this is the reason why. Okay, thank you.